ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the McGuire Theater and today's performance of Christmas on Stage and Screen. At this time, we ask you to silence all mobile devices. Don't let your phone jingle during the show. Restrooms are located on the first floor. Albums recorded by today's performers are available at the front desk for sale to benefit Benjamin House. Now, allow me to introduce Mr. Lenny Hughes.
I appreciate that, but I am not the one you paid to hear. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you here in support of Benjamin House, and to welcome Eric Michael Gillette and friends for their annual trip to Elizabeth City to contribute their talents to the benefit of Benjamin House. Eric and Robin and Melody, Valerie and Parker all will be singing, and Eric Rausch will be accompanying me. And now I'd like to turn the program over to Eric Michael Gillette.
Hi everybody, Merry Christmas. It's our annual trek to Elizabeth City. This year I brought 3 new friends with me. I can't wait for you to meet them. And I brought some returning people you've met before. Tonight we're celebrating the season on stage and screen. So you'll hear songs from movies, from television programs, and from the theater. This is one of my favorites. Ever since they first aired the Charlie Brown Christmas special, remember that? All those with the sad little Christmas tree. This has been my favorite Christmas song. Christmas time is here, happy time and cheer, fun for all the children call their favorite time of year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dreams to share. Snowflakes in the air, beauty everywhere, Yuletide by the fireside and happy memories there. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true, 'cause all I want for Christmas is you. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't hang my stocking there, right beside the fireplace. I don't need to see a blessing hanging by. Well, that's the wrong lyrics. You got me dancing so hard already, girl. I went straight up on the first song in the show. Let's take that second verse again. Are you ready for me? You can dance anytime you want, Diana. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I don't need to hang my stocking there upon the fireplace. Santa Claus won't make me happy with a toy on Christmas Day. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is you. You, baby. I won't ask for much this Christmas. Christmas, I won't even wish for the snow. I'm just gonna keep on waiting underneath the mistletoe. I won't write a note and send it to the North Pole for St. Nick. I won't even stay awake to hear those magic reindeer click. I just want you here tonight, holding on to me so tight. What more can I do? All I want for Christmas is you. You, baby. And all the lights are shining so brightly everywhere. And the sound of children's laughter fills the air. I hear those sleigh bells ringing and all the children singing, Santa, won't you please bring my baby back to me? Won't you please bring my baby to me? I don't want a lot for Christmas, this is all I'm asking for. I just want to see my baby standing right outside that door. I just want you for my own, more than you can ever know. What more can I do? All I want for Christmas is you. You, baby. All I want for Christmas is you, baby. All I want for Christmas is you. I have just learned the best lesson in life. I brought from Washington, D.C., where we stopped on our train on the way down here, I bought myself some salted, sea salted caramel chocolates, because I thought I would need some energy for the show. And here's what I just discovered. And you might want to know this for those of you singing church choir and stuff. Sea salt chocolate right before the show makes your mouth fill up with saliva. So I've been basically drowning in my own saliva for the entire number. There was actually a beautiful high note there. I'm going to sing the ending because I want to sing the high note. Eric, would you be willing? We'll go right from All I Want for Christmas is You, the first one, and here we go, and all I want for Christmas is you, baby. All I want for Christmas is you, baby. All I want for Christmas, all I want for Christmas is you. So you can also recover, with the Lord's help, from sea-salted chocolate caramels. Lately, I was listening to Satan. Tonight, you're going to hear songs from the stage and screen. You're going to hear some songs you've heard us do before. You're going to hear a lot of stuff that we've never performed down here in Brownville before. Those first two songs, the first one, I already told you, the Charlie Brown Christmas Special. The second one was a pop hit, but it featured very prominently in a very popular motion picture called Love Actually. Now this next song is one of the most enduring, popular standard Christmas songs. It was written by Irving Berlin, and it's from my favorite. I mean, who can do Christmas without watching either Miracle on 34th Street, or watching It's a Wonderful Life, or watching White Christmas? Now, I grew up in Southern California on the beach. Literally, there was the ocean, and there was the white sand, and there was the boardwalk, and then there was my house. And growing up on the beach in Venice was a magical time to be a little kid, especially back in the back when dinosaurs walked the earth. Not very many people know this, but I actually did go to Jurassic High School. I was in one of the early graduating classes. Anyway, I digress. To be a kid back then was really magical, especially at the holidays. My favorite time of year, at 4th of July, everybody would leave their burnt out fireworks. And you'd think it's just garbage, but it's not to a little kid. You would take the burnt out fireworks and you would make rocket ships in the sand. And you'd be Buck Rogers of the 21st century. And at Christmas time, right after Christmas, when people would start to get rid of their trees, You'd gather the trees up and you'd dig pits in the sand and you'd line them and they would become your fortresses. And you could play Sir Galahad or King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It was wonderful. So I actually never saw snow until very late in my life when I joined the circus and started traveling all over the United States. And every time I see snow, for me, it's the opposite of this song. I sit and I long for the white of that beach and for a time in my life when I was still so young and still had so many dreams. The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. There's never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA. But it's December the 24th, and I am longing to be up north. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and the children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be This year, as I said, I'm thrilled to be bringing some new friends down to meet you, new friends to introduce to Elizabeth City and the beautiful spirit of this town, and especially my favorite place here in Elizabeth City, the Benjamin House. I have to tell you a little bit about her and how we came to meet. Many years ago, for most of you, you don't know my work outside of when I come concertizing down here, but I actually direct concert and cabaret acts in New York City. And I always tell people, I don't want to do a show unless somebody has something to say. Well, one day I got a phone call from this lady, and I said, well, here's my rule. You have to tell me why you want to do this show, and if I think the idea is important enough, I'd be willing to work on it. And she said, you didn't understand. I have to get this show off my chest. I have to do it. I have to tell this story. And the story that she wanted to tell was the life story of one of the most famous radio and television and recording personalities of all time, Miss Jane Froman. Jane Froman was the leading recording artist of the 1930s. She was named the #1 recording artist in the nation and radio artist in the nation. I think it was 4 years in a row in the 1930s. And she then became one of the first women to host her own television show. She was a real leader in a pioneer in an industry. And what she's most famous for, though, is that she had planned to go and entertain the troops, the USO troops, as part of the USO, the troops during World War II. And on her way to do it, she was in a plane crash that severely damaged her body. And for the rest of her life, she went through agonizing pain and also a multitude of operations, and yet she continues to persevere through the entire time. It's a life-inspiring story. Now, here's how Valerie came to it. Valerie said, I was suffering, I had an operation, and they had her on some pretty major painkillers, you know? And she kept having these dreams, and in the dream there was this door that kept opening, and there was a woman in a beautiful ball gown with long gloves, and the woman would reach out and beckon to her and say, Valerie, it's me, Jane Froman. Now, I told you she was on some pretty heavy drugs, right? So, anyway, flash forward, Valerie became obsessed with this, so she went down to her computer when she was able to get on her feet, and she looked up Jane Froman, and there, on the computer screen, was the exact same woman in the same ball gown with the same glove, and Valerie swears she had never heard or seen her before in her life before that. And she felt she had been touched by the grace of this woman, and she had to tell her story. So we came together to write a show, and my Christmas gift to you this year is to allow you to hear two of the songs from that marvelous show that she created, With a Song in My Heart. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Valerie Lemon.
venue. She was one of the first women to host her own television show, which were two 15-minute programs that were held during the week. And she always had great holiday specials. And she received a letter, right before one of those specials, she received a letter from a woman who had just lost her son in the Korean War. And she was so moved by it that she turned it over to her writers, and they wrote this song for her, and I'd like to dedicate it to Miss Anne and the power of prayer. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer will still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere
reasons, selfishly, the reason that I bring people down here is because I get to sing with them in venues where I normally don't get to sing with most of my friends and my colleagues. We all go off on our own solo careers. In fact, Valerie was at one time Marvin Hamlish's symphony soloist for over 12 years, and now she carries on the legacy of Marvin Hamlish by singing in concert all over the country with symphony orchestras through his wife, Terry Hamlish, who keeps Marvin's legacy alive. So it's a little bit daunting to think I'm going to sing with her right now, but I'm going to. Do you think I dare? She's pretty good, isn't she? There have been a lot of versions of A Christmas Carol told over the years. This is a song that's from a motion picture and also from a stage production that was called A Christmas Carol, the original title, I know. It was written by Alan Menken and by Lynn Ahrens, and this song is called A Place Called Home.
There's a place called home, I can almost see, with a red front door and a roaring fire and a Christmas tree. Just a place called home, full of love and family, and I'm there at the door watching you come home to me.
Through the years, I'll recall this day in your arms when I finally found my way to a place called home
And a life with you, where the days are long
and the love is strong
and the dreams are true.
just a place called home you and I will always see.
In the dark of the night, let your heart come home to me.
Through the years, I'll recall this day in your arms when I finally found my way to a place called home and a life with you where the days are long
And the love is strong and the dreams are true.
just a place called home that my heart will always see.
In the dark of the night, let your heart come home to me. To a place in my heart
Where you're always home with me. Now, I don't know if some of you know this, but we had a little scare yesterday. We don't often get Ben so excited that he just, goes all to pieces on us. But he did, and he hasn't done that in many, many years. I think it was the last time he met Marilyn Monroe. But because we were so concerned about him, especially all of the residents at Benjamin House, we knew that the power of prayer would look out for him. He'd be here today and be feeling good, which you are, aren't you, Ben? Yeah, that's right. But we know that means you had a guardian angel with you. So we got you this today. The next gentleman I'd like to introduce to you is one of my favorite singers in New York. He's traveled the world on cruise ships. He's sung in over 38 countries over the years. He's a marvelous tenor, and the song that he's going to lead off with is a song that you may not realize has been used in a motion picture. Did you ever watch Disney movies? There be so many songs in Disney movies that you don't realize, that they're there. There's one movie called Fantasia, And in Fantasia, right after Night at Bald Mountain, they go to a very religious moment. It's a beautiful moment in the film. It's the climax of it. And in that moment, we get to hear Ave Maria. And to sing it for you, Mr. Parker Scott. Maria, gratia plena, Ave, Ave Dominus, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, in munieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris, ventris tui, Iesus. Ave Mater Dei, et Ria benedictibus, et benedictus, Ave, Ave Dominus, peccatoribus, nunc et benedictus mulierus, et benedictus, et benedictus fructus ventris, ventris tui, Iesus. Ave Maria.
There have been many versions of A Christmas Carol, and I got to travel around Germany one year playing multiple characters. There were 8 actors playing 32 parts. So I got to play Jacob Marley, I got to play Peter Cratchit, and a door. It was always fun because it was a guaranteed built-in laugh in my end. I quite enjoyed that. But I never got to play my favorite character. This afternoon, my next song is from the film Scrooge that starred Albert Finney, and the music and lyrics are by Leslie Bricusse, and I finally get to play Bob Cratchit. Christmas children peep into Christmas windows, see a world as pretty as a dream. Christmas trees and toys, Christmas hopes and joys, Christmas puddings rich with Christmas cream. Christmas presents shine in the Christmas windows, Christmas boxes tied with pretty bows. Wonder what's inside, what delights they hide, but till Christmas morning no one knows. Won't it be exciting if it snows? I suppose that children everywhere will say a Christmas prayer till Santa brings their Christmas things. Christmas children hunger for Christmas morning, Christmas day's a wonder to behold. Young ones' dreams come true, not so young ones too. I believe that story we've been told. Christmas is for children, young and old. Won't it be exciting if it snows? I suppose that children everywhere will say a Christmas prayer till Santa brings their Christmas things. Christmas children hunger for Christmas morning, Christmas day's a wonder to behold. Young ones' dreams come true, not so young ones too. I believe that story we've been told. Christmas is for children, young and old.
Martha Scott.
Thank you.
You know, it's always special when we come to Benjamin House because I never know who's going to be celebrating something special. But this week we got to come in time for one of the residents to be celebrating his birthday. And I am going to ask all of you to join us in one final birthday wish for him because he had kind of a crazy birthday yesterday at that Mexican restaurant. So everybody, would you join us in a happy birthday to our friend Casey? Stand up, Casey. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Casey. Happy birthday to you. Yesterday afternoon, I went by the Benjamin House after a lot of other things had been happening. And I wanted to go see the residents before we went to the parade to see Carrie, who was going to be riding in the parade yesterday. And the only person there were two of the mentors, two dear ladies who sat with me and chatted, and my favorite dancer in the whole world, Diana. Yeah, you can dance with me, girl. You can stand up and dance with me. It's okay with me anytime, honey. And as it happens, on TV, it was a motion picture I've been wanting to see for years and never got to watch. And it was just interesting to me because we had chosen a song from it. Now, there are a lot of classic Christmas stories, but there's some beautiful contemporary ones, and one of them is The Polar Express, which was made into a film that starred Tom Hanks, animated film, and this is the Academy Award nominated song from that film. Children sleeping, snow is softly falling, dreams are calling, like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seemed that we've lost our way, we find it all again on Christmas Day.
Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate.
Believe in what you feel inside and give your wings the dreams to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to their journey's end. Destinations are where we begin again.
Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting starlight to get where they need to be.
When it seems that we have lost our way, we find ourselves again on Christmas Day.
Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate.
Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. Just believe. Just believe.
Parker Scott. My next guest here is my favorite guest. Somebody asked me recently, what's your favorite New York Christmas memory? And I have to tell you, I only have one, and it's a beaut. My first year in New York, I had met this woman a long time ago. Some of you who've seen the show before may have heard this story, but it bears repeating. She has done 10 original cast Broadway shows, and I'm proud to say that she's my best friend in New York City and also my singing partner almost every place I go when I do sing duets. I'm not afraid to sing a duet with her. But I have to take us back to a Christmas back in the 1990s. Now at that time, she was known in New York City for being Mrs. Claus in the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular. Now, if you've never seen the Christmas Spectacular, it's got the Rockettes, it's got Little People, it's got camels, it's got everything you could think of. It's got Santa Claus, it's got 25 Santa Clauses tap dancing, and it's got a 70-piece orchestra that comes up from beneath the stage. And on that platform with the orchestra is Mrs. Claus singing a song that I fell in love with, especially the way she sings it. Now, when she invited me to see the show, she said, I'm getting you a seat. Now, she's from Yazoo City, Mississippi. So she talks a little like this. And she said, I'm getting you a seat to see the show, and here's the thing. When my song is over, when I go down with the orchestra, the show's pretty much over. So you can start gathering your things and come on backstage, and you can just see me and we'll go have some coffee or something. And I said, well, that's fine. So I'm seated in the middle of a row. It's sort of like these rows. See these? No middle aisle anymore. So I'm right dead smack in the middle, about halfway in the house, and there's nothing but celebrities behind me. There's everybody's there. The star of Star Search and American Idol, all kinds of people. Whoever they were there. Tommy Tune was there. And so she sings her song, the one you're about to hear, and the orchestra goes down, so I start gathering my bags, because she told me that there was not going to be anything after that, right? And I'm standing there in the middle of Radio City Music Hall, with about 5,000 people, and I hear, "Down in front!" And I look behind me, and it is Tommy Tune yelling at me, and he's tall, you know. And I turn around and I realize that, well, she was right, not that much happens after her, just the nativity. I'm standing in the middle of Radio City Music Hall, looking at the birth of our Lord, and about to disrespect it by walking outside when Mrs. Claus disappears. To this day, I have never lived it down. And here to sing my favorite Christmas song from that show, certainly, Melanie Vaughn.
Hey Santa, I want a diamond ring, bracelets, everything. Hey Santa, you ought to get the best for me. Gee, Santa, won't I look swell in sables, clothes with Paris labels? Santa, you ought to get the best for me. Here's an amazing revelation with a bit of stimulation. I'd be a great sensation. I'll be your inspiration. Santa, I want a brand new car, champagne, caviar. Hey Santa, you ought to get the best of me. Take it, Eric. Here's an amazing revelation with a bit of stimulation. I'd be a great sensation. I will be your inspiration. Santa, how about a brand new car, champagne, caviar? Hey Santa, you ought to get the best for me. Ooh, Santa, you better get the best for me.
This next song has become a sort of a Christmas standard, although it's not actually a Christmas song. It's from a motion picture called Quest for Camelot, but it achieved international popularity, and since then it's been sung often at the Christmas season. We wanted to include it in tonight's performance. Melanie, would you join me? I pray you'll be our eyes and watch us where we go, and help us to be wise in times when we don't know. Let this be our prayer when we lose our way. Lead us to a place, guide us with your grace, give us faith so we'll be safe.
La luce che tu dai
I pray we'll find your light
nel cuore resterà.
and hold it in our hearts. When stars come out each night,
L'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera.
let this be our
need to find a place. Give us faith so we'll be saved. Sogniamo un mondo senza più violenza, un mondo di giustizia e di speranza. Ognuno di ama il suo vicino, simbolo di pace, di fraternità.
La forza che ci dà
We ask that life be kind
desiderio che
and watch us from above. Others all to love. Let this be our prayer. Just like every child.
Just like every child.
Need to find a place. Guide us with your grace. Give us faith so we'll be saved. E la fede che hai acceso in noi. Sento che ci salverà.
I always like to share a little Christmas legend every year, and this year I found a fabulous one. I love to wander in Elizabeth City because I find shops that I've never been to before. This year, we found a shop called Tina Clancy's Art and Antique Connection. And if you haven't seen it, it's over on Poindexter, and you have to go. It's the most fascinating store. That's where we got Ben's Guardian Angel, but we also found a Christmas legend that we didn't know about, and I really liked this one. This is the legend. How many know this? The legend of the Christmas spider. Okay, a couple people do, a couple people. Many years ago, on the night before Christmas, a woman prepared for the next day's celebration. She cleaned and scrubbed her home until every nook and cranny sparkled. The household spiders fled to the attic to escape her broom. Then they listened to the excitement below while the family decorated the Christmas tree. After everyone went to sleep and the house grew quiet, the spiders crept back downstairs to see the beautiful tree. They were amazed and crawled along every branch, admiring each ornament. Soon the whole tree was covered with their webs. Father Christmas arrived that night, and he smiled as he looked at the webs the spiders had spun, but he knew the woman would be upset when she saw them completely covering her tree. And with one touch, he turned their webs into strands of gold and silver. And now the tinsel on the tree shimmered even more beautifully than before. And there is, in fact, a Christmas spider. And this, Miss Anne, is for you. My next guest is a very good friend to Benjamin House. She's been down here with me several times, and she's accompanied this year for the second time with one of my favorite people in the world. I call him my brother by another mother. Her husband, Thomas Westall, is sitting right here in the front row. Please welcome her to Elizabeth City. She's a housewife, she's an adoptive parent, she is a speech pathologist, and she is the creator and producer of a benefit series in New York called Robin's Nest, which is dedicated to raising money to help an organization called HelpUsAdopt.org, which raises money to provide grants for families dealing with the expense of adoption. It's a very noble cause, and she has included Benjamin House in the last of her Christmas benefits, the one that she just did in November, and spreading the word about Benjamin House even to New York City. I'm thrilled to welcome her back to Elizabeth City. Please help me in bringing to the stage Robin Westall.
up the tree before my spirits fall again. Fill up the stocking. We might be rushing things, but deck the halls again now. 'Cause we need a little Christmas right this very minute. Candles in the window, carols at the spinet. Yes, we need a little Christmas right this very minute. It hasn't snowed a single flurry, but Santa dear, we're in a hurry. So climb down the chimney, put up the brightest string of lights I've ever seen. Slice up the fruitcake, it's time we hung some tinsel on that evergreen bough. 'Cause I've grown a little leaner, grown a little colder, grown a little sadder, grown a little older, and I need a little angel sitting on my shoulder. Need a little Christmas now. 'Cause we need a little music, need a little laughter, need a little singing, ringing through the rafter, and we need a little snappy, happy ever after. Need a little Christmas now. Coming to Elizabeth City and Benjamin House is like getting the biggest and most beautiful present out from under the tree. And truthfully, when Ann Park Hughes and Elizabeth City created Benjamin House, they gave a beautiful gift not just to the residents of Benjamin House, but to every mother, father, grandparent, sister, brother, aunt, uncle, and friend who can go home and lie their head on their pillow at night and know that their loved ones have a safe and loving home. When I'm worried, when I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I go to sleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I think of when I had none at all, and I go to sleep counting my blessings. I think about a nursery and I picture curly heads, and one by one I count them as they slumber in their beds. So if you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll go to sleep counting your blessings. I think about a nursery and I picture curly heads, and one by one I count them as they slumber in their beds. So if you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll go to sleep counting your blessings.
Robin Westover. Robin's two songs were, of course, the first one was from both the motion picture and the Broadway stage version of Mame, based on the play Anti-Mame, and the second song was from Irving Berlin's White Christmas. Now, how many saw Will Ferrell in Elf? I thought so. Did you know it had been made into a Broadway musical? It's actually a Broadway musical. If you remember, Jovi, the leading lady who falls in love with the elf, has a lot of dilemmas in dealing with that in her society in New York City. And there's actually a song they wrote about that moment, and it's called, well, I'll let Valerie Lemon tell you what it's called. Here we go.
while others deck the halls, you dream of decking him. My choice in men has always been pathetic, I suppose. The guy who stole my credit cards, the guy who tried on my clothes. And so there's a row of self-help books that line my bedroom shelf. But there's one rule those books forgot: don't ever fall in love with an elf. His endless talk of Christmas Town will test your every nerve. Still, he's kind of cute, I guess, unless you grade on a curve. And though you vow you'd never sing, just look at yourself. You're halfway through a Christmas song called Never Fall in Love with an elf. The holidays will be bittersweet while you're alone in bed. But how can one girl ever compete with a magic fat guy in a flying sled? Go ask 100 single girls from here to Philadelphia. They'll say as clear as day, you'll have some sleepless nights if you love a guy who has a thing for tights. So never fall in love. Never fall in love. Never fall in love with an elf. It's as clear as a jingle bell. If you are single, well, don't fall in love with an elf. This is a beautiful song. It's a seasonal song, actually. It's from the film Anastasia. And Eric introduced me to it, and it's truly become one of my Christmas favorite songs. Dancing bears, painted things, things I almost remember, and a song someone sings once upon a December. Someone
mic in this and come on over here and talk to me.
Okay.
Just come on over here. There's a song that I have been dying to put into a Christmas show for so long. I have put it into 6 different Christmas shows, and at final dress rehearsal, I cut it every time. And I cut it because it's a deceptively simple sounding song, but it's actually very tough. But Valerie challenged me this year, and she said, this year, Eric, for sure, it's going in the show. There's no way that you're not going to get this song into the show. It's an Academy Award-winning song. It's from a movie called Neptune's Daughter. And this year, it's in the show. Are you proud of me? Because you're now going to hear this song sung by the wonderful Valerie Lemon and Parker Scott.
I really can't stay.
It's cold outside.
I got to go
It's cold
away.
outside.
This evening has
And
been
that you
so
dropped in.
very
I'll
nice.
hold your hands, they're just like
My mother will
ice.
start to worry,
Beautiful once you're
and father will be pacing the floor.
Listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really I better scurry.
Beautiful, please don't
Or
hurry.
maybe just a half drink
Put some records on while I
The neighbors might
think there's a man out
think,
there.
hey, what's in this
Catch me hat out there.
I wish I knew how
Eyes are like starlight
to
now.
break the spell.
I'll take your hat, your hair looks
I ought to say no, no, no,
Mind if I
sir.
move it?
At least I'm gonna say that I tried.
What's the sense of hurting my
I
pride?
really can't stay.
Out.
Oh, but it's cold outside. I simply must
But
go.
baby, it's cold outside.
The answer is no.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
How lucky that you
been so
dropped in.
nice and warm.
Look out the window at that storm.
My sister will be
Gosh, your lips
suspicious.
look
My
delicious.
brother will be there at the door.
Like waves upon the tropical shore.
My maiden's aunt's mind is
Gosh, your lips
vicious.
are delicious.
Or maybe just a cigarette.
Never such a blizzard before.
I have to go home.
Baby, it's freeze out there.
Hey, can you lend
It's
me a
up to your
call?
knees out there.
The evening's been
I
grand.
feel you touch my
What
hand.
can't you see?
How can you do this thing to
There's
me?
gonna be talk tomorrow.
Think of my lifelong
Or at
sorrow.
least there will be plenty of
If you catch pneumonia and die,
I really can't
get
stay.
over that old doubt.
Oh, but it's cold outside. Where would I be going when the wind is blowing and it's cold outside? Oh, but it's cold, cold, cold outside.
My applause, loud applause. 6 years we tried to get that song into the show. Parker was the great man to do it. Okay, there have been so many tellings of A Christmas Carol, but I have to tell you, my favorite one comes from when I was a kid. It was a television movie. Anybody remember Mr. Magoo? Okay, this had a score by Julie Stein, and here to sing from Mr. Magoo's Christmas Carol, Melanie Vaughn.
Winter was warm, summer soft that year. The winter was warm, without a sign of frost. Like summer lost its way that year. is cold. Will it ever be warm as it was then?
This next piece is not strictly from a film or television thing, it's just a skit that we found. It was actually written to be performed by two English people, but Melanie, being from Yazoo City, Mississippi, we transported it to the South. And Eric, would you let the audience know where the world we're inhabiting? So everybody knows that song, right? It's the 12 Days of Christmas, and it's that long list of Christmas presents that comes to that lucky girl. But have you ever really stopped and thought, I mean really, when you get right down to it, what receiving that kind of generosity would do to your Christmas spirit? The 12 thank you notes of Christmas, Miss Melanie Vaughn, December 25th.
My dearest darling Edward, what a wonderful surprise has just greeted me. That sweet partridge in that lovely little pear tree. Oh, what an enchanting, romantic, and poetic present. Bless you and thank you. Your deeply loving Emily.
December 26th.
Beloved Edward, the two turtle doves arrived this morning and they are cooing away in the pear tree as I write. Oh, I am just so touched and grateful. With undying love, as always, Emily.
December 27th.
My darling Edward, you do think of the most original presents. I mean, who would have thought of sending anybody 3 French hens? Do they really come from France? Well, anyway, it's a pity we don't have any chicken coops, but I expect we'll find some. Anyway, thank you so much. They are lovely. Your devoted Emily.
December 28th.
Dearest Edward, what a surprise. 4 calling birds arrived this morning. They're real sweet, even if they do kind of call rather loudly. Well, they make telephoning almost impossible, but I expect they will calm down when they get used to their new home. Anyway, I'm very grateful. Of course I am. Love from Emily.
December 29th.
Dearest Edward, the mailman has just delivered 5 of the most beautiful golden rings, 1 for each finger, and they all fit perfectly. Oh, that is a really lovely present. It's lovelier in some ways than birds, which do take rather a lot of looking after. You know, those 4 that arrived yesterday, they are still making a terrible ruckus. And I'm afraid none of us got very much sleep last night. Mother says she wants to use the rings to wring their necks. Oh, Mother has such a sense of humor, you know. This time she's only joking, I think. But I do know what she means. Still, I love the rings. Bless you, Emily.
December 30th.
Dear Edward, now, whatever I expected to find when I opened the front door this morning, it sure wasn't 6 honking great geese laying eggs on the porch. You know, I was hoping that you had stopped sending me birds. We don't have any room for them. They have already ruined the croquet lawn. I know that you meant well, but let's just call a halt, shall we? Okay, love Emily. Edward.
December.
I said no more birds. This morning, I woke up and I found no less than 7 swans trying to get into our little teensy-weensy goldfish pond. Now, I would rather not think about what has happened to those goldfish. The whole house seems to be full of birds, to say nothing of what they leave behind them. So please stop. You're Emily. Okay. Frankly, I prefer the darn birds. What am I going to do with 8 milkmaids? And their cows? Lord, is this some kind of a joke? If it is, I'm afraid I don't find it very funny. Emily, Look here, Edward. Now this has gone far enough. You say that you're sending me 9 ladies dancing. All I can say is that judging from the way they're dancing, they are no ladies. Now our town is just not accustomed to seeing a regiment of shameless hussies prancing around with nothing on but their lipstick around on the green. Now, Mother, I get the blame. And if you value our friendship, which I do, less and less, kindly stop this ridiculous behavior at once. Emily. As I write this letter, 10 disgusting old men are prancing up and down all over what used to be the garden before the geese and the swans and the cows got in it. Oh my Lord, several of them I have just noticed are taking liberties with the milkmaids. Meanwhile, the neighbors are trying to have us evicted. I shall never speak to you again, Emily. Oh, this is the last straw. You know I detest bagpipes. This place has become something between a menagerie and a madhouse. And a man from the council, he has just declared it unfit for habitation. At least Mother has been spared this last outrage. They took her away yesterday afternoon in an ambulance. I hope you aren't satisfied.
January 5th. Dear Sir, our client, Miss Emily Wilbraham, instructs me to inform you that with the arrival on her premises at 7:30 this morning of the entire percussion section of the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra and several of their friends, she has no course left open to her but to seek an injunction to prevent you importuning her further. I am making arrangements for the return of several assorted livestock. I am, sir, yours faithfully, G. Creep, attorney at law. We've combined 2 of my favorite Christmas memories into one piece. The first, who would think that one of the most enduring popular Christmas songs would come from a motion picture called Meet Me in St. Louis? Here to sing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, once again, Melanie Vaughn.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your hearts be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Make the Yuletide gay. From now on, our troubles will be miles away. Here we are, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who are dear to us, gathered near to us once more. Through the years we all will be together, if the fates allow. Hang a shining star upon the highest bough, and have yourself a merry little Christmas
I've been an avid reader ever since I was a little boy. The legend in my family is is that if you couldn't find me at dinner, you had to pile the entire family, my 5 sisters, my mother, my father, into the old Studebaker and go hunting for me. And they would invariably find me under a street lamp next to our local library with a stack of books bigger than me and my head buried in some brand new novel. I first read this story on December the 23rd on my way home from the library. It remains to me one of my favorite Christmas stories, and it was later made into an Emmy Award-winning television program starring Geraldine Page. This is an excerpt from A Christmas Memory by Truman Capote. After weaving and ribboning holly wreaths for all the front windows, our next project is the fashioning of family gifts. Tie-dyed scarves for the ladies, and for the men, a home-brewed lemon and licorice and aspirin syrup to be taken at the first signs of a cold or after hunting. But when it comes time for making each other's gift, my friend and I separate to work secretly. Now, I would like to buy her a pearl-handled knife, a radio, and a whole pound of chocolate-covered cherries. Instead, I'm making her a kite. She would like to give me a bicycle. She said so on a million occasions. Instead, I'm fairly certain that she is building me a kite, the same as last year and the year before. For we are champion kite flyers who study the wind like sailors. My friend, more accomplished than I am, can get a kite aloft when there ain't enough breeze to carry clouds. The candle burns too short to hold, and out it goes, exposing the starlight, the stars spinning at the window like a visible caroling that slowly, slowly daybreak silences, and possibly we doze. But the beginnings of dawn splash us like cold water, and we're up, wide-eyed and wandering while we wait for the others to waken. Quite deliberately, my friend drops a tea kettle on the kitchen floor. I tap dance in front of closed doors, and one by one the household emerges looking like they'd like to kill us both, but it's Christmas so they can't. Well, I'm disappointed. Well, who wouldn't be? With socks, a Sunday school shirt, some handkerchiefs, a hand-me-down sweater, and a year's subscription to a religious magazine for children, The Little Shepherd. Well, it makes me boil, it really does. My friend has a better haul. A sack of satsumas, that's her best present. She is proudest, however, of a white wool shawl knitted by her married sister. But she says her favorite present is the kite I built her, and it is very beautiful, though not as beautiful as the one she has made me, which is blue and scattered with gold and green good conduct stars, and moreover my name is painted on it. Buddy. The wind is blowing and nothing will do till we've run to a pasture below the house, and there, plunging through the healthy waist-high grass, we unreel our kites and feel them twitching at the string like skyfish as they swim into the wind. Satisfied, sun-warmed, we sprawl in the grass and peel satsumas and watch our kites cavort. My, how foolish I am, my friend cries, suddenly alert, like a woman remembering too late she's left biscuits in the oven. You know what I always thought? She asks in a tone of discovery, and not smiling at me, but at a point beyond. I've always thought a body would have to be sick and dying before they saw the Lord. And I imagined that when he came, it would be like looking at the Baptist window, pretty as colored glass with sun pouring through and such a shine you don't even know it's getting dark. And it's a comfort to think of that shine taking away all the spooky feeling. But I'll wager that never happens. I'll wager at the very end the body realizes that the Lord has already shown himself. That things as they are, her hand circles in a gesture that gathers clouds and kites and grass and Queenie pawing earth over her bone. Just what they've always been was seeing him. As for me, I could leave the world with today in my eyes. This is our last Christmas together. Life separates us. Those who know best decide that I belong in a military school, and so follows a miserable succession of bugle-blowing prisons, grim, reveille-ridden summer camps. I have a new home too, but it doesn't count. Home is where my friend is, and there I never go. A morning arrives in November, a leafless, birdless coming of winter morning when she can no longer rouse herself to say, oh my, it's fruitcake weather. And when that happens, I know it. A message saying so merely confirms a piece of news some secret vein had already received, severing from me an irreplaceable part of myself, letting it loose like a kite on a broken string. And that is why, walking across school campus on this particular December morning, I keep searching the sky, as if I expected to see, rather like hearts, a pair of kites hurrying toward heaven.
Through the years, we all will be together, if the fates allow. But till then, we'll have to muddle through somehow.
So have yourself a merry little Christmas now. As we move into the climax of our show, I just want to point out to you, Parker Scott has brought 10 of his CDs down here to Elizabeth City, and I recently sent 30 of my new CD, Careless Rhapsody, The Heart of Lorenz Hart. For those of you who know his work, he wrote songs like, he wrote everything from Blue Moon to My Funny Valentine to My Romance to Little Girl Blue, This Can't Be Love. It's been played on radio all over the country, and we've donated them to Benjamin House. So if you buy one as a stocking stuffer, the proceeds go directly to the Benjamin House. They're on sale downstairs as well as Parker's CD. This is the story of the most popular and enduring song, Christmas song of all time. It was in a small town in Germany, and back then, the preacher went in the day before Christmas to prepare for service, and he discovered that during the winter, rats had gotten into the bellows of the organ, and they were not going to be able to have music with their Christmas service. So he rode over to a neighboring village, which was a big deal in those days, went by horseback, and he found a musician friend of his, and he said, could you write us something that we could sing tonight using only guitar? And this fellow wrote this song, and that Christmas night at service, after a big snow that day, it was freezing cold, but the congregants came, and there in the church they heard for the very first time a song that's gone on to become the most popular Christmas song of all time. It goes like this. Stille Nacht, heilige Nacht, alles schafft, einsam wacht, nur das traute hoch heiliger Paar. Hol der Knabe ihm logigen Haar, schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe, schlaf in himmlischer Ruhe. Now the song has gone on to become so popular that it's even been riffed upon in films like Walt Disney's Lady and the Tramp, where Peggy Lee actually wrote a song to go with it called Peace on Earth.
Silent as the snowflake in the night, holy is the spirit of this night. All the world is calm and peaceful, all the world is bright and joyful. Spirit of love and child of peace, love unending that shall not cease. Peace, my children, of goodwill. Peace, my children, peace, be still.
After they heard Stille Nacht, Heilige Nacht, all of the congregants were so moved that they lit their candles and they carried them out into the freezing cold, cloudless night. And there, in the middle of the town square, they joined together to sing Silent Night and raise their voices to heaven. Please join us in singing Silent Night.
Silent as the snowflake in the night, holy is the spirit of this night. All the world is calm and peaceful, all the world is bright and joyful. Spirit of love and child of peace, love unending that shall not cease. Peace, my children of goodwill. Peace, my children, peace, be still. Sleep in peace.
During the Depression, many people had so little money that they could practically buy nothing for their children for Christmas. Back then we had penny candy, remember them? Beautiful little penny candies, many of them hard candies that you could get for just a single penny to buy brilliant colors, and with just a few cents you could put something in the children's stocking for Christmas morning. And that is how the term Hard Candy Christmas, which was popularized in the song from Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, came into being. This is Hard Candy Christmas.
Hey, maybe I'll dye my hair.
Maybe I'll move somewhere.
Maybe I'll get a car.
Maybe I'll drive so far I'll lose track. Me, I'll bounce right back.
Maybe I'll sleep real late.
Maybe I'll lose some weight.
Maybe I'll clear my junk.
Maybe I'll just get drunk on apple wine.
Me, I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still, I won't let sorrow get me way down.
I'll be fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still, I can't let sorrow bring me way down.
maybe I'll up and go.
Maybe I'll just lie low.
Maybe I'll hit the bars, maybe I'll count the stars until the dawn. Me, I will go on.
Maybe I'll
Settle down. Maybe I'll just leave town.
Maybe I'll have some fun.
Maybe I'll meet someone and make him mine.
I'll be just fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I can't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I can't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be fine and dandy. Lord, it's like a hard candy Christmas. I'm barely getting through tomorrow. Still I can't let sorrow bring me way down. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Before we leave you today, we have two little surprises. One of them is we asked all of the residents at Benjamin House to learn something to sing with us tonight. And you've already heard the song once before. We're going to sing it twice, once with the residents, and then we hope once with all of you. You can come on up, Diane. Come on. Give me some wine. treat for you. Bart, come on over here. So last year, I had the pleasure of duetting with my favorite duet partner. And this year I decided we would make it a group effort. Are we all ready? And Mary, wait, start with us, Eric. And Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save her sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy could calm the storm with his hand?
Did you know that your baby boy would walk where angels trod? And the face of your sleeping baby is the face of God.
The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again.
The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule creation?
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day rule this nation?
Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? And the sleeping child you're holding is the great I
Good job. Oh, that was so wonderful.